ceiling fan. Hi.
My apologies. We're 3 minutes late.
We're 8 minutes late.
We're 8 minutes late. My apologies. The book club had me going. Those of you who don't join the book club yet, you're missing. You're missing out. Hi, Dion. Hi, My Serenity.
Hi, Jane.
Hi,
Gordon.
Jane. Good to see you. Alison Smith. Diary of a Vegan. Asking me about Palmetto Pines. Okay, so we're trying to sort out one little thing and then we'll go to contract. For those who have persons already who have reserved. Did you reserve? Who asked me the question? Somebody asked me the question.
King
Lavish asked me the question. Did you reserve a lot? So if you reserved a lot, you should be hearing from us soon. We're really just trying to sort out one little thing. Not major, one little thing, and we start taking the contract. We send out the contracts. Good evening, My Serenity. I love that name, My Serenity.
Jane Gordon. Sounds like a romance
novel.
Yeah, author's name.
Yeah. Tony, remember you used to write those novels? You stopped writing them?
I should go back to. I had such fun writing them.
You should get back to it, man. I don't know if you're having fun writing them, but you're writing some pretty decent novels.
I don't know. Like you do something and it's very stressful.
Yeah.
Writing is not stressful for me.
Okay. Yeah. Writing is stressful for me. Right now I'm writing a course. It is stressful.
Yeah, but that's because you're writing like procedures and those type of things.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not writing anything that's
fun
naturally.
Hi, Dion. Good afternoon. My Serenity just on time. Yeah, apologies for being late. We got a little bit held up in our book club. But the book club is going great for those of you who are part and be a part of the YouTube family. Remember, this is where
shortly. Come back.
Hi, Futura. TMC. Good evening, TMC.
Dion Christian. Hi. T McFarlane. Good day. Good day. Okay, so my Serenity says, what's your opinion on getting a BQ for an addition? Bill of quantities.
How do I go? No, what's the question?
What's your opinion on getting a bill of quantities for an addition?
Yeah, you have to know the cost. There's a section in the Bible that speaks about that. Somebody who studies the Bible tell me. It says if a man is to build is it a castle or a wall? I'm not a good Bible study. If a man is to build a wall and does not count the cost, and he starts and cannot finish it because he doesn't have enough money, then his friends will laugh at him. Pass the wall, the unfinished wall, because he did not check up the cost. No, that's a parable because Jesus was saying that if you wish to follow me, you must follow me properly. Count the cost. What is it going to cost you to follow me as a Christian, right? Mm-hmm. And he was giving that as a parable. So, yes, you have to know what it is. Gives you an idea. Tells you how much sand you're going to use, how much you're going to cost, the labor, and all of that. It's called a bill of quantities, yes. And you can get a contractor's estimate with that too. So if you get the BQ and you don't understand it, get a contractor's estimate, which is more straightforward. In other words, the contractor going to tell you how much to dig the foundation, how much to lay the steel, how much to lay the blocks. He's going to tell you that in a layman's term coming down the line. Or how much cement you're going to use, how much sand also, right? Usually the BQ now lump up the material and the labor into one. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you don't quite understand it, you know?
But what I do like about the bill of quantities, though, is that it quantifies your worry. So when you're doing construction or in addition, there's a lot of things that you're worrying about at the same time, and you're not sure where you're heading and what comes next. When you look at the bill of quantities, it puts it in very real figures.
Right.
The wall, the foundation.
Yeah, and it goes in steps.
It goes in steps, and it gives you a monetary figure for each section, as you go along. So if you're the kind of person who really worries about construction, then
I don't worry. I just go in head first.
I know, like mom is like, I'm a little small, you know. Let me add on this based on the plan, and then we just start laying some blocks, and she's like, let me see if I can finish this little section here, so with this little money.
Yeah, I just dive in, guys.
And you're like, I just want to get to roof.
Yeah,
let's get to roof. And we'll worry about everything else later.
I'm like that. I just dive in, to be honest. But I kind of know my foundation costs and my walls, you know. I kind of know that, but the rest of it, usually I'm winging it. But the thing with me is that sometimes if you count the entire cost, you never start.
And what I like about it is that when you're building, you realize that there are certain things you can live without right now. So when mom's doing her construction, usually we're in this house without tile or a fully functioning
kitchen. It makes for fun times, guys. So you move in without the kitchen. The only thing you have is the wash tub and a table beside it.
I know. I mean, kitchens are such luxury items.
Yeah, you know, with all these cupboards. So what I find is when we do a movie now, and we finally get the cupboards and the flooring and da-da-da. Like, where did all this junk come from? You have all this cupboard now. And all these things are in this cupboard that you never had before. But because the cupboard is here, you know, acquire all these things. I'm like, I wish they had kitchens without cupboards, man. You know? So the next kitchen I built, so like the kitchen at Camelot have 2 top cupboards. That's fine. Don't need no more.
I know the goal in life is if I'm not seeing it, I don't need it.
Right.
Somebody else is asking a question. Serenity says, I'm adding 2 studios to my house, and the architect wanted me to pay for a QS for BQ before submitting drawings for parish council. I understand knowing the cost, but in what order? Permit first?
I thought you had permit first. Yeah. What's the point of doing a BQ if you don't have a permit?
I know, because
suppose parish council tell you say you can't put on so much room. You have to put on 1. I don't understand that architect, man.
Yeah.
No, I would get the approval first, unless the cost of the house has something to do with the money that you're paying for the permit. Like it's a percentage or something. But if the cost of the building the house has nothing to do with the cost for the permit, you get the permit first. I don't. Besides, if you get a BQ now, and that permit takes you 6 months to get, that BQ is null and void in 6 months.
Yeah, it's not gonna mean much.
I mean,
it's just gonna be like a passing guideline at that point.
Right. So I don't understand why the architect. You must ask him though. Why did he give you that advice? Ask him on what premise did he say that?
Nakujam says, did you see article? Government selling lands left behind by people who died without will. Wow. Government through Administrator General Department in process. Advertise parcels of land for sale owned by persons who died without will.
No, I didn't see the ad. Naku, is it in today's Gleaner? Because we have the Gleaner downstairs now.
So is it just without will or without no next of kin either?
Must no next of kin too. And nobody live on the land.
But that's good. Government needs the land to be used. So
Did you see article? Government selling lots of damn bad people who died without wills. Today we're it's funny. Today we're doing wills. We're doing wills and trust today, actually, as a presentation. In Naku, I tell you, great minds think alike. Look what you just asked me the questions. I tell you, when the creator wanted to do something, so I'm just lead you into it. Naku, I didn't realize that. Is it in the Gleaner today? I'm gonna go check it out.
Alea says open shelves available. The status.
Open shelves. What am I gonna put on the open shelf?
The 2 plates and the 2 cups that you can actually use.
And then they'll take them up.
Oh, you're gonna be actively using them every day because it's only the 2 you have.
So then I can't stay in a dish drain if I go to me out. I can't stay in a dish drain. I don't. The open shelves. I'm not convinced about open shelves.
So what you plan to put in the kitchen? Just a bare wall?
Just one liquor shelf, one cabinet, 1 2-door with 3 shelves, 4 plate, 4 cup, 4 dish bowl, 4 glass, and 4 teacup. That's it. I'm done.
Don't need no pots.
And on the other side of the pots, yeah.
Okay.
Just need a frying pan. I not even need a rice pan. I'll use a rice cooker. But I just need something that can fry like my chicken and fish.
You don't boil no dumpling?
Nope.
Or Irish?
Nope. And 1 pot to boil, yes, like my Irish sweet potato. But I said I need no only but things, man. Come on, guys. I have too much things to float around the place, man.
They're gonna make you
when my friends over, you eat out a paper plate, man. That's it, and I'm done. Life is for living, not for a wash plate. Good evening, Denise. Yeah, Alia, the open shelves, not so convinced. I prefer to have a clear wall. I prefer to probably have a pitch out there covered with glass. So it have a glass. It's framed with glass, so I can easily clean. Preferably maybe tempered too. But I don't want nothing. Just want beer. No holy things. Will you still talk about Trust and Wills 1 week? Today, Naku. So stay tuned. Doing it today will probably start at 4 o'clock.
Arnett says, I'm doing renovations right now, and if I don't be careful, I put myself in debt. In debt.
In debt. You want to say debt or debt? Arnett? You mean debt? 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 Or you really mean debt?
That is a good one, though.
Yeah, that's a good one. Play on it. I want to basically credit all that I want. No. Credit all that you want now. No, Arnett.
That's a good way to put yourself
in debt. Yeah, the debt of credit. No, don't do it. Were you in the Richest Man in Babylon class today? Where we spoke about don't go again. He said it so eloquently.
Where last week's class?
Today, this class, man. He said don't borrow more than you earn, something like that. Trying to remember when the camel trader gave the story. He who I do not know that, being young and wise and without experience. I did not know that he who spends more than he earns is sowing the winds of needless self-indulgence, from which he is sure to reap the whirlwinds of trouble and humiliation.
Naku says, article was last week. Awesome. I just heard you say Trust and Wills today. As I asked, that was a follow-up question.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're doing it today. Naku. Well, the article was last week. We have last week, Lena, still?
Not sure. I know we have this week.
We can always Google it too, as well, I'm sure.
And it says, I know it's not possible, so I'm keeping my fingers off the pen and paper and don't sign for no extra.
That's the Richest Man in Babylon also talks about the second cure, which is control the expenditure. Isn't that a good way to control the expenditure? Keep your what is it? Keep my fingers off the pen and paper and don't sign for no extra loan.
Mhm.
That's a good way, Arnett. Yeah, that's a very good way. Tony, remember to write that in our thing. Do not sign for any extra loan. That's it. They're nice. Look at you. Oh, they're talking to themselves. Remember, ask us your questions, everybody. We'll take them before we go into the presentation. I mean, I should do the presentation, and that way you can ask all the questions you want about the presentation.
Definity says, "Good day, ladies. What advice would you give someone that is about to start renting their house long term? Two houses on land. Would you rent the both of them to one family or get two different tenants?
I would get two different tenants
And would they need to share anything on the land?
because it's safer in numbers. I think Tony had this rental where you rented to one family, one on one side, one on the other side, but they were related.
Yeah.
Never work out too well. It working out well now.
It's working out better now
It's working.
after about a year of
Stress.
stress.
You want to probably rent it to two different families. That way, if you have a challenge with one, the next one don't take side and it spill over into bad blood and da da da, you know, kind of thing. So I would rent to two different families, and also what affect one family will affect everybody. If you have two different family, this family might be going through crisis, but the other one isn't.
Which is what was happening.
Right. So one crisis on one part of the family reflect on the other part of the family. Yeah, you might not want to do that. Tony telling you from experience. Just rent to two different family.
On the flip side of that,
Mm-hmm.
if there are two separate tenants, the less things that are on the property that has to be shared,
Mm-hmm.
try and limit that. So if they have to share a gate, the clothesline, you might want to put two separate clotheslines in the yard,
Two separate wash tub
two
outside.
separate wash tubs. Just
And you need to be clear on how the water bill is split, right? So NWC now allows you to apply for a second meter, but you yourself have to run two different pipelines to one house, one pipeline to one house, and next pipeline to one house. You have to split it up so that NWC can put the meter on the split line, right? If you can't do that, you can apply to NWC. They'll give you up to 4 meters, I understand, for one property. If you can't do that, then we usually say if this family has two, including babies, because babies use water. I don't know why people think babies don't use water. They use more water, one bag of washing or whatever, right? As we have found out.
that only lasts every time you change a diaper for a baby, you wash your hands.
Yeah. You use a lot of water. So plus the washing, washing machine. I mean, we have found that since we have had Xana's in. So you want to ensure. So let us say Tonian is one of the tenant. I'm one of the tenant. Tonian has 5 in her family. I have 4 in my family, including babies. Babies are not half cost. Babies full cost. So it would now be nine parts. So you want to, let us say the bill come to $10,000. So let us say 4. Tony have 6, I have 4. And the bill come to $10,000. Then Tony is going to pay 6 over 10, and I'm going to pay 4 over 10. I mean 4 divided by 10. 6 divided by 10. So it is $10,000 divided by 10. That's $1,000 per person. So Tony will pay $6,000 and I will pay $4,000. That's it. I ensure that they know when them toilet leaking and all of that to make sure it's not leaking, and that's when the problem comes in.
And be very specific about lawn care. If that's going to be your responsibility as a landlord or the tenant's responsibility. So that can get sticky.
And if it's the landlord's responsibility, you need to ensure that you tell them the frequency. So you might say once a month. You might say when the grass reach 2 inches high or 6 inches high. Make sure, because some months it don't rain, no grass to cut. Some months it rain heavily. But and if you say once a month, And somebody calling in the middle of the month because the grass reached 10 feet high, you just draw for your contract and say, listen, the schedule is once per month, once the grass is 2 inches high or 6 inches high or whatever you want to say. But those things, you look out for. Anything that you know that can be a little nuisance, you stop it. So therefore, there's some people with dogs and cats and so on. Yes, we understand all of that. But usually in shared units or shared space, like in this case would be a shared yard, maybe a shared gate, driveway, and so on, you might want to limit the pets. Because this family love cats and them all over the place, but this person here in this house hate cats. You might want to limit that, right? So anything that can be a nuisance. This person might smoke. This other person don't smoke. So you will have to pick and choose, yes. So I would get two different people, but I would make sure that we keep it going down the line, down the line.
I've seen a note here that was Miss Donna's question.
Donna? Oh.
That was sweet.
Reshoot if we miss it. Donna, you said? I don't remember Donna. Donna? I don't remember Donna.
All right.
Divinity.
And it says, I wish I was disciplined like you, Miss Claudia.
Discipline is actually something you learn. So
And you have to practice it every day. Discipline.
The discipline.
It doesn't just come.
No. My mom was the disciplinarian between she and my father. But my mom left early. My mom left when I was 12 for the States on a 1-entry visa, right? But she would always, she's a person who, like on Sunday today, your uniform iron already and put on, your 5 uniform, your shoes clean, everything line up for you. Your homework done, your books in your bag kind of thing.
She did it? Or you
She did it. She did it. I mean, she left me when I was 10, 11. Mm-hmm. So we were in Jonestown at the time. But and she insists on the homework and, you just have to do those things. Claudia, remember to start the dinner, fry the chicken. When I come in, I finish it. That kind of thing. She had a routine. She knew what she was going to buy in the market. I was the one who had to remember the list. 1/2 dozen egg, 6 plantain, 6 sausage. Because every day we got the same thing for breakfast, which was egg, plantain, sausage, and bread. Egg, plantain, sausage, and bread. I don't know if those of you in Jamaica who grew up like that. On the weekend now would get there.
No, but you still eat that.
I still eat that every day. Today I had that, guys. So that's a discipline. Just know that this is what you're gonna eat and that's it. Be done with it, right? So she was really the disciplinarian and in the one that keeps the order. Put it that way. Keep the order. So like our Christmas coming now, you're going to have sorry if you go pick, right? Which I hate it because it always scratch my hand. You haven't taken down every curtain and wash it. You're going to sleep on the floor Christmas Eve because when the bed make up, you ain't going on that bed. You know what you're eating Sunday, like today's rice and peas and chicken. You know that there's no guesswork in it. You know that tomorrow you're carrying your Sunday, Monday. So the discipline started there. And it carried me through when my mother actually left and went to the States. And I had to go live with my dad. And then I got further discipline when I actually joined the army. So the army, again, instilled some discipline. You'd be surprised. The discipline of waking up at 5 o'clock, I still have that in me. There's no two twos about that. You had to get up at 5 o'clock. Whether you go bed 4 a.m., 4:30, you're up 5 o'clock, irrespective. Right? So that's kind of discipline. And it has brought me through life. The discipline is all about doing the steps that you set out yourself to do. So if you set out yourself to be at work at 8 a.m., what are the steps you need to do before that to get yourself to work at 8 a.m.? That's a discipline. That's how you discipline yourself then to do what you're supposed to do because you're set out the steps. So you know that I have to get up at 6. I want porridge. I have to get up 5:45, make the porridge. Then I have to go up and put these kids' clothes on. Yeah, that's a discipline. And you have to literally maintain the routine and the steps.
But to be fair, Mom,
Mhm.
most of us are only disciplined to avoid the pain.
What that mean? You mean the pain that comes if you're not disciplined?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like Arnett, she maybe want to spend nice things on this renovation by taking a loan.
Right.
But if she knows that at the end it's going to be a very large loan to pay to enjoy these nice things that she may not be able to manage at the end because she's going to put herself in a lot of debt, and that debt is going to cause a lot of worrying and anxiety and loss of some of the things she can enjoy now, maybe like a meal out because she has to be paying this heavy debt. Then if she keeps that in her foremind, she may not actually sign that loan.
You mean if she keep the pain in the front of her head?
Yeah.
Like me, when I eat bread now, I'm in pain. So I have to keep the pain in the front of my head. So when I see the bread, I said, Claudia, no. Like I saw Zan even doing this today. He went like this. He wanted Xander to stop doing something. He went like this. What does that mean? He says, no. I don't know who to do that. I guess it's Miss Rachel or somebody.
Well, this is no.
Oh, this is no in the sign language.
And then there is I'm not sure. Maybe I think it's nursery they do it. So 2-finger spanking for toddlers, where you go on their hand to inflict a discipline or a pain. So seeing the act lets them stop because they're anticipating the pain.
Okay, they're anticipating the pain. Yeah, so I went like this today. He goes, he didn't actually touch himself, but he goes, no, and he said the words too. I was wondering, where did this kid get this from? And he's using it appropriately too, you know.
Did Xander stop?
Yeah.
Xander knows the it's probably a technique they're using at
school. Yeah. So the discipline though for me is the goal. So what is the goal? The goal is to get to work at 7 o'clock. What do I need to do before that? I have to do some things and I have to be disciplined. Get up at 5 a.m. Do that. So Arnett, the goal is to finish for you is to finish you say you're doing a renovation. The goal is to finish the renovation. But as Tony says, not without debt. The renovation must come with pain. Right. So same thing, me getting to work at 7 a.m. must come with pain. So I have to have the discipline to know the path that is going to get me there to this goal, to this finish this house, or to get to work at 7 without the pain.
Beverly says, good afternoon, ladies. Hi, Beverly.
Hi, Beverly.
Yvonne T says, good day, everyone. If someone dies without a will or children, can a family member claim with just the name?
No, sir. You haven't been in line of what them call it now is that line of succession. There's a rule. I must cover it next week. So there is a hierarchy within which you can claim or where you fall in the claim. Inheritance. So there is, I don't want to say it wrong, but I know definitely children, direct children, years, yes. Children you adopted, yes. Children you take care of to where you tell them, say you adopt them. If them can go court and prove that, then yes. Your spouse, yes, direct line. Your siblings. No. Your siblings can claim?
Direct siblings.
Like brother and sister, you think so? I don't remember that. No, your parents can claim.
Oh, your parents can claim.
Yeah, your parents. I don't know about your siblings and your auntie and your uncle and them people.
So wouldn't they be the next closest blood to you?
There's a point where it ends. And this is it. That's why the government can't step in. There's a point where it ends and nobody else can claim.
Oh, and that's why the government
Yeah. So if you die without children or a husband or parents, there's another set that can claim it. I don't know if it's auntie. I don't know if it's sister, brother. I have to research it. Okay. But there's a point where it ends. It doesn't go to infinity. It's not everybody can claim. You have to directly leave it in your will to them. Okay. Right? But it's not everybody can claim. But of first, because I mean everybody would have turned up.
Oh, it says we missed Dion's question.
Dion's, okay. Tony need a link for the book club. Buffalo needs a link. I thought you were in the book club.
Yeah, the Buffalo is in the book club.
So which link you want, Buffalo? You're in the book club, you have the link. Let me say never. Or maybe we should join the book club as
the Buffalo's in my group.
Group 1? Yeah. Buffalo, you're in the book club already. Definity, no light, no just light, maybe. I'm not so sure what that is. Naku says, this is a link where I read the article.
Oh, YouTube won't allow me to post the link. But I write on
Nationwide.
Divinity says, is there any tip on how to make sure rent pay and pay on time? It goes back to choosing a good tenant. You found it?
Divinity might have a hit or miss, but you might want to
choosing a good tenant.
And
one of the things you can look for in terms of rent to income ratio.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes.
Usually, what I try to do is ensure that the income of the tenant, whether combined or single, is at least 3 times the rent. That way, paid rent for them is not a struggle.
You might have met that 4 times now.
Well,
got the cost of living gone up.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm trying to find your article. It is, what was the heading for the article? Give me the heading. Let me see if I can. Is there any tip? Okay, right. So that's one thing to look for. Another thing is to physically interview these people yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people look good on paper, you know. But when you meet them and talk to them is a whole other story.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Another thing I always look for with tenants is their level of liabilities.
Level of debt.
Yes.
That Arnett was talking about.
All right. So not only what is on their pay slips in terms of deductions, but when they come to you and you're interviewing them, you find out do they have a mom at home who they are responsible for? They have 2 children. You know, those extra things that would burden them unexpectedly from paying your rent. Are they new relationships? Did they just have a baby?
Did they rent before?
Yeah.
You need to call up the landlord. What was the reason why this person looking a new place to rent, you know? Or were they, did they give you any trouble, so on and so forth. What else? Anything else?
No, those are the things I look for.
Yeah, and try to meet them in person. That's important.
Mm-hmm. And ensure that your rent is due after they get paid.
What? Make sure what? The rent is due when?
Yeah, your rent is due after they get paid.
So if they get paid on the 30th, the rent is due on the 1st.
Right.
Give them rent due, them get paid 24th, rent due on 25th.
Right. So if it's, for example,
it's too far apart, you're in a little trouble there.
Right.
You can be in a little trouble. Because I don't want to pay it too early, but then you have them have 4 days in between and anything can.
I know that some depending, sometimes there's all like a 10-day in between, and so that gives them time to do other things with the money instead of paying the rent.
Yeah, and then the minute they don't pay the rent, you must issue the notice.
Right.
Issue them as what we call a soft notice. Locally, you can't issue the notice until 30 days after the rent has not been paid. But certainly within a day or 2, you don't see the rent in your bank account, send them a letter. Ask them, you notice the rent is not here. Remember the rent is due on there, whatever. You start talking to them before the 30th of the month.
What I do sometimes, and I don't do this with every tenant, just those that I think may have a little trouble remembering
Mhm.
their transaction. About 5 days before their rent is due, I say something to them on WhatsApp, just following up with them. I haven't asked them about the rent or anything,
Mhm.
but I engage communication so that I'm at the forethought of their
Oh, so
their brain.
you do a sneak attack.
Yeah.
I'm watching this Asian show now, and he keeps talking about sneak attack. His wife, you do sneak attack, sneak attack. You come sideways and tell me. Sneak attack. All right, what do you think? What do you think the government needs to do for downtown Kingston to finally be revitalized? Yes, this is a real estate question. Gee. The government they already have plans for downtown Kingston. Um, and they have started actually.
Right, I've liked some of the stuff they've done.
Yeah, they have started. Um, they have started. I'm thinking of that stretch here now where what's the name
Gloria?
of the Gloria's is go right along the waterfront there.
To
The
the
whole of that
Giselle?
has been done already, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, it has been. Where else is there downtown? Oh, you're talking about maybe King Street, Orange Street, and those streets?
Mm.
I don't know if we can ever get any of those done because those properties are owned by private people. Um, where else you have downtown? They have built Grace Kennedy built a brand new building already. But is it Ministry of Finance is down there? There's another building down there right on the waterfront that was built just behind BOJ.
I
What's
know
it
it's a
called?
government building.
It's a government building, yeah. I'm about to go there and do something. They have started, I mean, doing the waterfront all the way from Raytown, there's a name, come all the way to the west.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. They have started. So I'm not so sure. If you want to know what they're doing, I think you go on the UDC website. UDC, Urban Development Corporation, UDC, that company. Go on their website. They should have what it is that they're doing about downtown. Any other question?
I'm sure. But what do you think they need to do if you were government?
Um,
Would you
if I was government, I would use the water more. I would have more activities on the water itself.
okay like bring back the pier?
Yeah, bring back the pier, bring more boats to take you to wherever. Maybe just a drive around the place,
On the bay?
bay, or take you out to the Keys or those places.
Hmm.
Um,
I would put like a little amusement park out there.
yeah, you could
We
even
could come
get
with your
a
family on
yeah,
Sundays and
yeah. You could have all a ship out there. Them go up on a ship on tour. Buy a ship and put out there Jamaica and have tours. So I would do more with the water. I would do more with that. So I say something. Yeah, I would do more with that. They're doing a lot. Let's go on the UDC website.
one moment.
So we're gonna go on the UDC website and we'll see what they've been doing already. But I think they're more focused on land, but I would focus on sea. Because after all, you have the shoreline right there. The whole sea is empty. I mean, you're just looking out at nothing really. I would have a whole thing on the sea. So UDC offers investment opportunities downtown. Let's see. Once again, offering investors the opportunity to actively participate in the redevelopment of the area. Proposals are now being accepted for the lease and management of a food bazaar at its festival marketplace located at Pigeon Street on the Kingston waterfront. I think that's up and running. The food bazaar kiosk total that. Scroll down. Let me see what else they're doing. Go to the UDC website itself. It's up there. Okay. Um, Type in downtown in the search.
Right here.
Mm-hmm. Are we sharing our screen?
Yeah.
I think I see a heading there, so subset projects. They have started. That much I know. As to where they are now. All right. So UDC seeks joint venture investors to increase parking spaces downtown. Scroll downtown. UDC offers investment opportunity in downtown Kingston. With the downtown is the Waterford. Temporary traffic changes go down. Uh, Fireworks. UDC and D&G Foundation partner to aid Mary Atkins Shelter downtown.
This is from like 2017.
Go. Let's look at 2019.
That was this one.
Mm-hmm. Would have started. This is the one you're looking at before. Scroll down.
What was the section you were in? You said something about
I'll go back to the home page.
projects.
Projects.
Hmm.
Kingston Harbor Walk. That's downtown.
Nothing on the page? No.
Really? That mean the project flop? Kingston Harbor Walk. Maybe you can Google it. Maybe they have another link somewhere. But I know that they had big plans for it. Hmm. Kingston Harbor Walk project. Yes, March 2023. Great. So they gave out a procurement notice apparently. Let's see the notice. WhatsApp cookies. So the project is called Kingston Harbor Walk Project. Applied for financing from Caribbean Development Bank towards the cost of the Kingston Harbor Walk project and intends to apply a portion of the proceeds of the financing to eligible payments under a contract for which this invitation is issued. Payments by CDB will be made only at the request of the GOJ and upon approval by CDB. So the rule, let's go down, the deadline, March, type, now wishes to procure consultancy services for feasibility studies and designs on the Kingston Harbor Walk. Okay. So they're just sending out the feasibility.
Well, that was March this year. Maybe they've approved something by now.
This approximately 10-kilometer stretch will complement and continue the work to develop the waterfront and will connect to the Kiwi Park, which extends from the Kingston Pen Gully to Port Royal Street, which is being funded by the GOG through a World Bank loan under the Foundations of Competitive Growth. And then they give you the eligibility. Let me see what is the scope of the work. Is it there? Oh, this is the scope. No, go on, go. Down. Down. I don't see. Go on. Well, they kind of said what it was. So it's a walk. It's a like something like what they did with the airport road. Scroll up. Something like what they did with the airport road.
What they did with the airport road?
They have no interlocking bricks all along the stretch, so you can actually walk it. Scroll up. Something like that. So this is a procurement notice. Rule. Country deadline, March 3. I'm supposed to get that already. Kingston Harbor Walk. Produce recommendations and designs for the provision and operation of climate resilient coastal protection measures from the Port Royal Street revetment to Harbor View. Kingston Harbor Walk will incorporate a continuous shared use path along the coastline between these points. The principles of placemaking shall be central to this urban development to maximize the shared value of the public spaces in the project area. Design is to incorporate social inclusiveness and gender equality principles informed by effective consultation and engagement with stakeholders. Recommendations will include measures to reduce vulnerability of the project communities to climate change impacts and strengthen their capacity to manage these changes. Improve public access walkway and amenity enhancement as well as habitat restoration. Duration of the assignment expected to be for a period of 12 months. All right, so that's something that you're doing. So I know they have some things going on for it, yes. But the implementation is slow. All right, what's your another question?
Okay. Scroll for a bit here. You need to be excused.
Okay.
A moment.
So this is all right. So Eva Holding, you asked about downtown Kingston, and I said we need to look to the sea now. We need to look to the sea to develop that form of entertainment. So Alison Smith is asking, will the new law affect our gated community even when it was advertised as Airbnb friendly? No, it shouldn't. Just depends. So it's a restrictive covenant and title that is driving the ruling, right? So if the ruling says, if your covenant, restrictive covenant, your title says no trade or business, and the court is saying Airbnb is a trade or business, they might have a challenge. So your strata or your homeowners would have to bring in line the covenant with the bylaws. And I figure that it is the bylaws that probably says it is Airbnb friendly, but your covenant means your covenant, meaning the title, the covenant and title may be saying something different. So I think they can coexist side by side, but we're not having communication is what's causing the problem. Lack of communication on both sides. So the Airbnb owners and the owners who want to not do Airbnb need to communicate. Communication is key in this. Uh, for Evolin, so Claudia was in the army. John, don't play with her. I wish every man could go through the army. Not every woman, but every man, every male species would do some stint in the army somehow, some way. Make it a little bit tough, yes, but it's not a bad thing. What's another question? Yes, Tony, exactly. I don't know to which question that on it. So Yvonne says the sister is still. Oh, the sister is still alive. So it's a sister who wants to claim. Oh my God, what it is called? It's not succession. What is it called, Tony? It's called. Need a lawyer. Tony, you did a law degree. What is the term called? Although you probably know. You did that in a law degree? It's called.
Right of succession is in.
Is it the right of succession? Is that what it's called? All right. So Safi says, Miss D, we need more services on the North Coast. Too much hotel. We need diversification, theater, cinema, food and drink festivals, large supermarkets, street food scene, anything in the works. The Chinese are coming with an entertainment zone at Miami Bay.
It's called the Right to Inherit, and
I don't know if you're going to get any better than that. We need more services. Chinese coming with something at Miami Bay. It's called, what's it called? They have declared it an entertainment zone. So therefore, you will be seeing some more offerings on that side.
Yeah, they say siblings can inherit.
Siblings can inherit, but after who?
Okay, that I can check.
The surviving king, highest in order. We need to know the hierarchy.
It's not called survivorship, no.
No. That's what I'm trying to. What will be going price for to rent a studio in Port Antonio for a friend? I have no clue. Or somebody said, hold on, before I take your double floor. Hi ladies, what is the down payment for 39,000 house? Can either be 5% or 10% depending on your loan. So if your loan is 95%, you can deposit 5%. If your loan is 90%, they're going to ask you for 10% deposit. So that's 3.9 million if it is a 10% deposit. So Depo Follow says Port Antonio. I was trying to find a place for somebody to rent in Port Antonio. I had no idea the place barely have anywhere to rent. I mean, it's the hardest thing ever. I had to call a friend, call a friend, call a friend, who call a friend till eventually they got eventually they actually got more. They got somewhere through the friend, which was a room in a house, a room, bathroom, kitchenette at the side of somebody's house. Rentals seem to be a little limited in Port Antonio. Miss Claudia, I need to know some more about Palmetto Pines. Send me a WhatsApp message, 876-292-6776. Title of article, Government Selling Land Left Behind by People Who Died Without Wills. All right, good. Logistics, Kingston is now offering container house, 1, 2, 3 bedrooms. How will it change real estate? I don't know if it will change real estate, Aliyah. Most Jamaicans want a block and steel house. That much I can tell you. I want a you find it?
I'm finding stuff. I'm just trying to look.
Don't want a block and steel house. For the size of the container house, I would build a block and steel house that same size, using the same money that you're gonna pay for the container house, as long as I have the land already. How will it change real estate? A container house is a temporary structure, right? I guess if you're selling the container house, you will be selling the land with it too. Or them lift up the container house and carry it with them, right, Tony?
Mm-hmm.
So the one thing good about it is that it can move up and down. So if I have it in Kingston and you want it in St. Catherine, I can just put it on a flatbed and take it to you. So the advantage is that it's movable. In terms of longevity, not so sure. I know a block and steel house will last forever. But a container house, I'm not so sure. I haven't lived long enough to know if they can go up to 100 years old, like someone like our block and steel. I was at St. Anne's Bay at the intersection, at T Junction. Right at the police station, I looked up and I see this police station building 18 oh long. I don't know if a container house would last that long. 18 oh long, people. 18 something another. It's 1911. I can't remember. Next time I'm there, I'll look. But block and steel or bricks, those houses last very long. Container house, they're temporary housing, so I'm not so sure.
Okay, so married partners and single partners inherit.
Logistics, Kingston, no, yeah, container. Did we get the name? Hold on, I need to write down what Naku is saying.
And children will inherit.
You're saying the title is Government Selling Lands Left Behind by people who died without wills.
Okay, so it's your spouse,
Mm-hmm.
and then children,
Mm-hmm.
and then children is 3 parts here. So
Mm-hmm.
you have children within the union,
Mhm.
children outside of the union, children adopted,
Mm-hmm.
and then grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
And then after grandchildren, if there's none of those,
Mm-hmm.
the children then grandchildren, and then if after grandchildren, your parents.
Yeah, so your parents, right?
And then after your parents, your brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that is your nieces and nephews.
So yes, the sister can inherit if there's no parent. So apparently the line is spouse first, children, grandchildren, parents, brother and sister, nieces and nephew. Way down the line. So that means this person would have not had a spouse, no children, so no grandchildren, and parents would have died. So now the brother and sister can step in. So yes, whoever asked me the question, as long as there's no parent, no grandchildren, no children, and no spouse, then brother and sister can step in and claim.
So persons who cannot inherit are caregivers,
Mm-hmm.
close friends,
Mm-hmm.
you're related by marriage,
In-laws. Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah.
So caregivers, in-laws, and close friend cannot inherit. A big ship repair will be built soon in the harbor. Good, Tree Blade. Thank you for that. A big ship repair. Good. So many ships come to that harbor. Mm-hmm. Arnett and Yvonne, were you guys added to the group by Mimi? Because I'm not. I'm sorry to interrupt Claudia. Oh, Rasheen, that. Rasheen is in group three. All right, Rasheen, WhatsApp me and let me get that information over. Did you get did you send her a WhatsApp? Was the group formed already though? If you have somebody else in the group's phone number or Arnett and Yvonne you're talking to now, I guess Yvonne and Arnett, you can tell Rasheen if the group was formed already. Oh my God, I forgot that the clocks go back here in UK. I miss 1 hour. Oh no, Maxine, you miss a lot. But we're going to get into wills and trust now. Hi ladies, what would be the down payment for the 39? I did that. 10% or 5%. Alicia laugh out loud. Okay, that's Rose and Tony too, 30 year. I had a friend that received her sister's past, but not before a long investigation by the bank to make sure that the deceased did not have any children. Yes, because children would have to inherit first before the sister. So remember, it's spouse, children. So spouse can get everything. Spouse and children share 50-50.
Yeah,
Share 50-50. Spouse and children share 50-50. If none of those,
each of them have an or an exception.
Right. If none of those grandchildren, then parents, then brother and sister, then nieces and nephews. After that, it stops. So no cousin can inherit. No. First cousin, second cousin, third cousin. Then people like yourself.
No, I think they can, but it's complicated down the line.
Okay.
Because you can half uncles and half aunts can inherit, which would lead to cousins and stuff. But there's a whole heap of hurdles.
All right.
Further down the line.
And who definitely cannot inherit is caregivers, in-laws, close friends. You can leave them in your will, but them can't go claim in court for inheritance.
There it says a half uncle or a half aunt. A half cousin can inherit instead if the half uncle and the aunt who would have inherited died before the intestate person.
Ouch.
So it
complicated. All right. So let us see if we can bypass all that complication. All right, Tony. You're not seeing the number. Rasheen, WhatsApp me on WhatsApp and let me get it to them. I'm not sure. I don't know the number. I'm not sure, but I can go back into the group thing and listen back to the audio.
Okay, so what am I doing? Oh, I'm sharing the screen.
You get into the presentation. It's on the email. Is that where you're going to find it or here? Oh, you have it open already. Go live. Go slideshow. Check in. Are you seeing us, everybody? Thumbs up. Are you seeing my screen? Mm-hmm. Are you seeing us, everybody? Thumbs up. All right, great. So I'm Claudia and I have Tony beside me, as you know. For those of you joining us for the first time, thank you so much for joining us and staying with us. And again, I must apologize for earlier for coming in late. My numbers are 292-6776, or Shane can use that to WhatsApp me now, 292-6776. Tonia's number is 370-8138. We're real estate agents, so if you have a property to sell, you can let us know. Now, what makes greatness is starting something that lives after you. Ralph Stockman said this, man of my own heart, Tony.
What makes greatness is starting something that lives after you. You don't have to finish it.
You just need to start it.
Yeah, because to be fair, Walt Disney, it was really done after him.
He started it.
Yeah.
He dreamt about it. Did he draw up the plans and all of that too?
I'm not sure of the details.
All right, so we need to probably do the case study. So Tony's saying Walt Disney started it. And look at it now. Oh my God. I don't even think him himself imagined what it could be. Or did he? Maybe he did and wrote it out in his vision, you know? A mission statement. So what makes greatness is starting something that lives after you. That's what makes greatness, guys. Ralph W. Stockman said it. And this came out of Nelson Law Group PC. That's where I got this inspirational 10 inspirational quotes about real estate planning. So bear that in mind. Now, I'm asking you some questions now. Do you want to be in control when you're dead or alive? Your decision. Which one you want to? You want to be in control when you're dead or when you're alive?
When I'm alive.
You want to be in control of your things when you're alive, right?
But I do want to have some guidance of what happens to my things when I'm dead.
You mean you want to leave some guidance?
Yeah.
You want to tell them, like you want to tell Zana Zeva what? Well, I want to tell them do not sell this house we're sitting in. I want to tell them that. What would you want to tell them?
I would want to tell them to
Ever thought of it?
secure what you have and what you create.
So secure what you get already.
Yeah.
And what you create as well, you're to secure it.
Secure it.
Very good. So I had the first part, which was don't sell this house. So secure what you have. Keep it. But you're saying, you're adding something that you're saying, secure what you also build for yourself.
Yeah.
Right? So yes. And that is you trying to be in control. So do you trust that persons have the will to do what you wish? Or do you trust yourself to do what you wish? That will determine what you do.
Myself.
You trust yourself.
Because I'm the person who will better understand my wishes.
So you trust yourself to do what you wish, as opposed to do you trust that persons will have the will to do what you wish. Because sometimes, and this is the thing about will, but let's continue. You know, we're doing wills and trust. All right. So what is a will? A will typically name an executor responsible for the managing of your estate after death and carrying out the instructions you left in the will. Right. A trust, on the other hand, a trust is set up while you're alive and designates a trustee to manage your assets according to your wishes during life or after death. So the will is also set up when you're alive, you know. But the will don't come into effect until you're dead. Right? Whereas a trust is also set up when you're alive and designates a trustee to manage your assets according to your wishes during life and or after death.
Mhm.
Well, it can be and or. You're either dead or you're alive. So it's either your wishes during life or after death. Everybody understand? Give me a thumbs up. You understand will, the difference between a will and a trust. One is both of them is set up when you're alive, but one only comes into effect when you have gone. That's the will. The trust can either come in your lifetime, be effective in your lifetime, or you can set it up so it's effective after you're gone.
I wonder which came first, though,
What?
the will or the trust. Because it seems to me like they created will and say, okay, this is going to happen after I die. And then some smart person says, but I want some more control even after I'm dead. So let me make a trust.
Right? I think it came after. Certainly looked like it came after, guys. Give me the thumbs up if you understand the will or the trust. The waiting on you.
Yeah, they are good.
Oh, give me the thumbs up. So you're with me so far. I hope I don't lose anybody yet. A will now. So there are three main parties to a will. You have one, the testator. That's the person who creates the will. So that is me. I create the will, or you create the will. You have an executor, the person you choose to manage your estate when you die. An estate means all your assets, right? It means your life insurance policy, your house fund the ill, your bank account, da, right? So testator, the person who create the will. That's me or you guys. Everybody here listening to me. The executor is the person who you choose to manage your estate when you die. That's two set of people already. Two persons already, sorry. The beneficiaries, anyone you want to leave assets to through your will. So a beneficiary for me, maybe my grandsons, right? It could be Tonya. It could be my daughters, Tonya and Rachel. It could be my boyfriend, of which I have none.
Yes.
Yet. Or maybe I say, in the future, I put in the will, to the future boyfriend, yet to be named. All right. So, testator, who creates the will? Executor, the person you choose to manage the estate when you die. I think you can choose two of those. The beneficiaries, so you can have 100 beneficiaries. You name it. You can put a church as a beneficiary. Anybody you want. Your pussy, your dog, you to the dog.
I know I've seen cases where rich women leave like their entire estates to their dog.
I don't even know how that works. It's just crazy. All right, the different types of wills. All right. Now, everybody, focus now. Focus, right? A simple will, that's the most common type. They name an executor, outline how you want your assets to be distributed, how the debts should be paid, and who is to care for your minor children or care for any surviving pets can also be addressed in a simple will. So usually the simple will form, you can buy that at the bookstore or somewhere. They're there. Or you download one from Google. You're going to name the executor. So you're going to name Mary Jane or Tom Sue in the will as the executor. I name Mary Sue as my executor.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to outline how you want the assets to be distributed. The first will I did, I remember giving my VW bug to my brother. Mm-hmm. My 1970s, so it says, my 1970 VW bug license plate, that is to be given to my brother. And you put him name. And you put, suppose you have a house. You say, my house situated at 10 Barbican Road, Kingston 6, is to be given to my daughter, Mary Sue, right? Mm-hmm. You can also add things like, for her lifetime. And then you say something like, then to be given to John Brown, surviving. Okay. So it means Mary Sue will have this house until she dies. But after she dies, it goes to somebody else. And we pray that that somebody else doesn't die before Mary Sue. Okay. All right. It says how debts are to be paid. So you say, I leave 20 million in the bank to pay NCB and to pay my credit card debt and to pay, yeah, right? You also say who's to care for your minor children. So you say, I think at the time I had said, was it Rachel's dad? I think I did.
Mhm.
So I'd given Rachel's dad as the trustee, that's what you call him, for Tonya and Rachel at the time because they were minor children.
Mhm.
So he was supposed to take care of them if anything happened to me.
Mhm.
So you're going to appoint a trustee in the will to take care of your minor children. Make sure you do that. Don't assume say your sister, your brother, or whoever will take them. You must name them in the will. And name the care for surviving pets. You can also say, okay, and my pet Sue must go to John Brown or go to the shelter, whichever.
Mhm.
All right, so that's a simple will. Testamentary will. A testamentary will place your assets into a trust, and we're going to look at trust going down the line, when you die. So testamentary will is putting the asset in a trust when you die. A trustee then manages the assets within the trust on behalf of your beneficiaries via the instructions left in the will. It's helpful if you want to specify how and when beneficiaries can use funds left to them. So let us say my grandsons here now, Xander and Zaven. I can leave a testamentary will to say, when I die, 20 million of the insurance money is to go to in a trust for Xander and Zaven, and I appoint Rachel and Tonian to be the trustees to manage this trust, the assets in the trust, which is the 20 million coming from the insurance.
Mhm.
And I also then say Xander and Zaven, who are the beneficiaries now. So Xander and Zaven are the beneficiaries, my grandchildren. Tonya and Rachel, my daughters, are the trustees. So they're not the beneficiaries of the trust, them is the trustees. They're managing the trust. My grandchildren are the beneficiaries. And I might say something like, the beneficiaries, Xander and Zaven, will get use of $10 million each when they are 25 to start a business that is presented and is approved by the trustees.
Okay.
Everybody understand? Thumbs up if you understand. I hope I don't lose anybody yet. So simple will, right? You just name the executor, outline how you want assets to be distributed, how you want, who must take care of the kids, and so on. Testamentary will, you place your assets into a trust when you die. You appoint trustees to manage and you name the beneficiaries. All right. So that is those two types of will. So we have two more types of will now. You have joint will. So a joint will is when two separate people create nearly identical wills and name each other sole beneficiaries. The will states that when the first person dies, their entire estate goes to the survivor. Once one of the individual dies, the will cannot be changed.
Okay. So that's
People, yeah, people usually do this when they have tenants in common. So if you have a property tenants in common, I own piece, Tony I own piece. So I leave a will to say, when I die, my part of the property must go to Tonya. And Tonya leave a similar will to say, when she goes, her part of the property must come to me.
And we're doing this because that is not automatic.
Right, it's not automatic. But once I dead, you can't change it. I have to go through like that, right?
Mhm.
That's joint will. Living will. A living will is very different from other wills. A living will states your medical care and end of life preferences should you become unable to decide for yourself.
Hmm.
So you can provide a living will to say, okay, suppose I'm meeting an accident and I'm on life support and I'm whatever. Please take off life support after 2 months if I'm still alive. Something like that.
Or if I get like dementia.
Right. So a living will. All right. No, the wills don't take effect. Remember, the will is of no use. So you can't use. So if I write a will now, Tony and can't take the will to the court to probate and I'm still alive.
Mhm.
I must have been deceased.
Mhm.
Right? So them don't take effect till you pass. Now I got all of this from courtesy.com. So you can go there and read it for yourself, and other stuff is there too you can read. Let's look at trust. A trust. Now, trust have three parts though, but this time it have grantor, trustee, beneficiaries. Somebody put in the chat, what does the will have? The three areas, and what does the three areas of a trust have? The three participants in the trust and the participants in the will. So the trust have a grantor. That's the person who creates a trust. So let us say that is me or you create a trust. The trustee, the person you name to carry out the instructions in the trust. Let us say those are your immediate children. They are the trustees, including yourself probably, because maybe I live in trust. And the beneficiaries, the people you choose to receive access through the trust. That is your grandkids, so on and so on. Categories of trust. So you have different categories. You have living trust. A living trust is created during the grantor's lifetime. Once created, the grantor decides what assets should be in it and then transfers the title of those assets to the trust. The grantor can benefit from a trust while alive. When the grantor dies, the trustees take over management. Right, Tonya? Mm-hmm. So when I'm gone, you take over management. Okay. Testamentary trust. A testamentary trust is created based on instructions in a person's will. Remember, we did it earlier. Which one of the trust? Which one of the wills we said this happening? Which one? Testamentary will, right? Mm-hmm. All right. See, Tony said the same name. Remember, testamentary trust, testamentary will. So you use a testamentary will to do this, right? Mm-hmm. So a testamentary trust is created based on instructions in a person's will. It doesn't go into effect until the grantor's death. Because remember, it was created using a will, and the will don't take effect till death. A disadvantage is that the assets have to first go through probate. That is going through the court, everybody.
And that takes a while in Jamaica.
Everywhere, I think. Revocable trust. So a revocable trust means that the grantor can alter or terminate the trust during his lifetime. An irrevocable trust cannot be changed once it's established. So if I set up that trust and I said irrevocable, then Nazeva cannot get $1 till them 30 or till them 50.
Not even you yourself can change it.
Not even me myself can change it. I suppose there's those Nazeva around now.
Well, there must be something in it that says the person after them.
Person after them. But if they're not around, they may not have produced a person. So guys, you see how you see how this can get tricky now. So irrevocable trust.
It probably just says grandchildren.
Or something like that. Yeah. But suppose there are no grandchildren. An irrevocable trust cannot be changed once it's established. The benefit is that all assets transferred to the irrevocable trust are no longer considered part of the grantor's estate, which helps minimize taxes. You see that? So you get a good thing on one hand. So you make it irrevocable. It's no longer part of your estate. So government can't come talk to you about that. But on the other hand, it's irrevocable. You can't make a change. So why need to make a change? So when you get up one man, all their offspring them dead, who was supposed to benefit from this trust?
Not only that, so what if you need to get rid of our property?
The trust have to sit and do it. Belongs now to the trust. Mm-hmm. So the trustees have to meet and decide what they do. Funded trust. A trust is considered funded if the grantor transfers assets into it during their lifetime. So you can have a funded revocable trust or a funded irrevocable trust. You just transfer in your lifetime. You put the money in there in your lifetime, right? Unfunded trust. So you can still form a trust and it's unfunded. It's simply an agreement with no assets yet transferred into the trust. It becomes funded when the individual dies and property is transferred through a will. A disadvantage is that the assets have to first go through probate. So this is like when you set up a trust, yes, and you say, my life insurance policy, money, proceeds, was going to the trust. So it becomes funded when the individual dies. Okay? But that will go through probate. Now, trust versus will. These are some of the things the way you would decide which one you're doing based on what you're doing. So you want to leave money and property to a specific individual, use a will. So if I want to leave uptown house to Tonya and downtown house to Rachel, halfway tree house to Zanda and crossroads roads and need to Zaven, write a will and leave each of them own house.
Okay.
You want to name guardians for your minor children? Use a will. Because the trust, whereas in the trust there would be beneficiaries, it still does not say who are their guardians. The trustees are not necessarily their guardians. Understand? Guardians are different. It can be one and the same, you know. So like you, maybe the trustee in the trust was an Azeva, but their dad may be the guardian.
Yeah.
Understand? So you have to name that in a will, right?
Can you have a will and a trust?
Yeah. Because let us say you have a trust, and you want to put the insurance policy money in the trust. You have to now put it in the will or on the insurance document where it says beneficiary, you write the name of the trust company. Okay. That way it goes straight to the trust company. Okay. Right? But if you want to leave, so let us say you have a property on loan and it not yet cleared from the loan. Because if it's not cleared from a loan, you can't put it in a trust. Because the bank own it, not you. But when you die, you leave a will to say 1, 2, 3 halfway tree road must go into the trust when I pass, right? So if you have special needs children you need to plan for, use a trust. Because a trust have a board of trustees that would now govern all the assets. You understand? And the board of trustees will ensure that all these assets, the house with the rental coming in, the insurance money coming in, all those are used to the benefit of special needs children. Because that can get sticky. You leave it in a will that Mary must get the house, the insurance policy, the bank account money, everything to Mary alone. And there's a special needs child that Mary is supposed to take care of, or even a minor child. There's nothing to stop Mary from take all of the money and gone. Okay. If you leave it in a will. All right. Have multiple properties. Use a trust. So if you have more than one property, use a trust.
When they say multiple properties, like 2,
3, 4, 5,
is sufficient.
Yeah, any amount. Well, even one can go in the trust. But they're saying for multiple properties. Suppose you have 10 properties and you have 10 children. You want to give each of them one property. Use a will. But if you want to hold all the properties under one trust, so that they will work together as trustees to manage all these properties, you leave a trust. Okay. So they're saying. Do you want to limit how your beneficiaries use the money and property you leave them? Use a trust. Because in the trust now you can say, like I just said, this money is to be used if Xander has ever come with a proposal for a business that the trustees agree with. Use a trust. If you want to lower your estate tax, you use a trust. Because any property, anything going to trust, you put anything in the trust before you die, that is now trust funds and trust property. It belongs to the trust already, so it doesn't go to your estate. Okay. So it's not going to form part of the estate duties or anything like that. All right, thumbs up, guys, if you're getting it so far. Thumbs up, keep a thumbs up, keep a thumbs up. Ask the questions too in the chat, and I can take them afterwards. As you go through, if you're not understanding. Now, the Trust Act in Jamaica is called the Trust Act 2019. It replaces another Trust Act that we had before, but the most recent is the Trust Act 2019. Should we drop it in the chat? Those of you who want the Trust Act, WhatsApp me, I'll send it to you. It's something you need to read in full if you're going to go the route of trust. The Trust Act, the legislation addresses the creation, validity, duration, and enforceability of trusts. It identifies the property that may be held on trust, and it establishes a procedure for the appointment and removal of trustees.
It doesn't talk about the removal of beneficiaries. Yeah,
You can't just arbitrarily remove beneficiaries. What do you mean? You me set up the trust up and said this are my grandchildren. I guess you want things about them people that turn some ganja smoking, worthless people. You want to fling them out. It's tricky, guys. There are some things that you can go back to live, Tony. There are some things. Ask me the questions and trust and will if you want to know. Actually, I have to jump off at 5 because I have another meeting. I have a long day today. Never ever realized I'm meeting at 5. Oh my god. I'm just gonna have to power through it, guys. All right, so
there was a question.
you have to. So it is a minefield with this trust and will. You have to think about it carefully, which one you want to go with. If you want some control over what happens to your things or to what your works are hard for, you put it in a trust. The trustees themselves can, I think, vote to wind up the trust. So let us say
they run out the beneficiaries.
You run the beneficiaries are still on the assets, what you do?
You wind it up?
Get sticky.
Because you can run out the beneficiaries.
You cannot run out the beneficiaries. Yeah, one accident wipe out beneficiaries. So yeah, it's something you have to seriously think about. But if the good intentions, you want to protect minor children, like all my grandsons, your children, you want to protect them. You have more than one asset. You don't want your assets to be separated and distributed all over the place, and then somebody don't listen. So me get told in the house, she goes squander and get broke. Find out what this man, name out all her money. Then she started to squeal on her sister Rachel because she was really silly. The trust help avoid some of that. Because the trustees, they have to work together to keep this going, right?
Right.
It is a minefield. So you're going to go to a lawyer. So it's actually a trust document that has to be set up. It's stamped. Then if you have property you want to put in the trust, you're gonna take it down to the, and if you send me a WhatsApp and ask me, I send it to you. You stick it down to the title's office. They won't endorse it on title, but they will make sure that they lodge some kind of caveat or something on it, and they will try and protect the trust. So when persons like somebody try to sell the trust, the property that you put in the trust company, they will make sure that that don't happen. Right? And as I say, you can name the trust. So suppose you call the trust ABC Trust. When you have your insurance policy, you can put ABC Trust as a beneficiary. And when you die, the company will pay over the proceeds to ABC Trust. You can do the same thing with stocks and bonds and all of those. Any instrument like that. Mr. Book Club. Anthony and Mr. Book Club, I'm going to put you in groups. Send me a WhatsApp, Anthony, and let me put you in a group.
That one.
This one. Put you in a group with the least people. Send me a WhatsApp. Those of you who missed the book club today, we put persons in groups to do an assignment. So you need to be in a group so you can benefit 7, 8, 9. So Anthony, send me a WhatsApp so I can put you in a group.
All right. There was one question earlier about something else. Well, Banks was asking, I'm buying land through NHT, but there's a document he's bouncing at the title's office. That would be the transfer document.
That would be the transfer. It just means that they made some error on it.
Yeah, human error.
Human error.
Probably a spelling of a name.
Yeah, something simple. But they will fix it and send it back.
Eventually.
And that's usually lawyers giving trouble like that. But they'll get it done eventually. So I can put you in room 3, Anthony. Send me your What's up? Mm-hmm.
The Buffalo Soldier said, sounds like joint tenancy, the joint will.
Joint tenancy. No, you wouldn't do that for joint tenancy. Remember, joint tenancy, when you pass, the other person get it automatic. It's more like tenants in common that you would do the joint will for. Because when you pass, the other person don't get it automatically under joint tenancy. So you would need a will if you want to give it to the other person.
No, what she's saying is that because you want the other person to get it automatically, you'd have done joint tenancy with the property. So you do it a joint will because you want them to get it
automatically. Oh, got
without
it.
any other body.
Yeah, got you now.
Arnett is saying, is there a set fee for the? Why can't I see this clearly? Let me read it over here. Is there a set fee for the cost to do the will or the trust fund?
Well, the will, you can basically do your own will. You can type up a will. You can download a will form from Google. You can buy it in Jamaica at a bookstore. Write it up yourself. Get 2 witnesses to sign it, stamp it, and give it to somebody so them know where the will is. That's the thing about wills too. Guys, when you make a will, why not hide the will, man? You must give the what we call the people then.
We didn't hide the will, Mom. We put it in a safe place to be found upon death.
And all.
That's what we did. We did a safe because you don't want them to expire us before they read the will.
Oh, you don't want them to kill you after. Well, this is a thing now. I mean, the will, you put the will in a safe place. But anybody can know, go write to a will and say, Claudia Davis write the will. Because you don't let other persons know that you wrote a will and what's supposed to be in the will.
Yeah, but I think people are getting smart and letting their attorneys.
I suppose the attorney expired before you.
No, mommy, not just a single attorney. You're going to give it to a firm.
Okay.
Right? You wouldn't give your will to a single attorney.
Mm-hmm.
You give it to a firm.
A firm, yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll have it in their vault or wherever.
Yeah. So, yeah. That's
somebody's basically says that Easter egg hunt to find it.
Yeah, Easter egg hunt. Yeah. But remember too, if you die without a will, you're going to go administration without a will. That's where the nightmare starts now. Because everybody wants a piece of the pie. So you have to figure it out. Any more questions? If I don't have any more questions, I probably will come off this chat early today because I have to prepare for a 5 o'clock meeting.
But really and truly, we should leave like a plaque in our house, engraved or something that says, yes, there's a will. It is located at this location, and these are the beneficiaries of the will.
Well, maybe you don't want to tell them the beneficiary, but you want to tell them, say, there, Morgan Taylor, attorney at law, 7 King Street.
And it's like one of those pictures in your house so that it's easy to find,
That's true, but suppose there's a fire. So you want to probably have it digital too. Tell the people that the will, that's where the will is. Or the will is in the safety deposit box at NCB Bank Crossroads.
Yeah,
something like that. And the keys at the attorney at law. Something like that.
Mm-hmm. Do you need to say the executor or something?
The executor needs to know.
Oh, yeah, the executor will know already.
And the witness will know.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you need 2 witnesses. I think you need 2 executors.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the witness and the executor can be the same. Something like that.
Okay.
I
think isn't there something like the beneficiary and the executor can't be the same?
I don't know. But there's something, guys. I did it when I did paralegal, but it's not coming back to me now. I would have to go and research it. But
it says, I'm going to be doing my 3rd amendment to my will. Things keep changing.
Oh, you might want to consider a trust too. Mm-hmm. The will is sticky. The thing is, people pass away, right?
Mm-hmm.
The 2 executors can pass away. Usually them all older than you, so them pass away. then it would have to go in the court. I guess the court would act at that point. And then I find that persons don't probate wills. They don't. They find the will and they keep the will and they don't do anything.
But other than government, is there like a private company that does this?
The lawyers are the ones who probate the will.
Other than them.
No, right? But them are the private company who probate the will.
They're a private company?
Yeah. And the government through the courts are the one who administer the will.
I feel like it needs to be more privatized though.
Why? The court is the last stop, just like the trust.
Mm-hmm.
When you read the trust act, you're going to realize that the court is the one who steps in, if anything, like suppose all the trustees die before the beneficiaries reach of age.
Is there like a will registry?
Not that I know. There should be though.
Yeah, like everybody in the island, for example, should know that I'm to make the will.
Mm-hmm.
And when I make the will, yes, I may want to hide it in my drawer or whatever, but there's a registered copy at the will registry that where everybody can see what this will is in its original state before whatever. And nobody can change the one at the will registry other than the person who created the will. Right?
Yeah, there used to be a will registry, come to think of it.
And that's just public. There's like a way of a title place where everybody's title is there. A will registry.
But they might not want that. Wills are public information still. This is why some persons prefer to create a trust. But the trust is private. But a will is public, right?
No, but I'm not saying like at the will registry, anybody with your name or your TRN can go and pull your will. It still has to be a very specific person who get access to the document at the time of your death.
Right.
Right? But it should be there. That way there's no
egg hunt.
Yeah, egg hunt at the end.
Egg hunt. No, I just like my YouTube people, they always come up with it. Please answer this question. What if your house has increased in value but you still have a mortgage and you die? Who get the increase in the home's value? The beneficiary. But that's if you sell. So, remember Beverly. So you have a house, go up in value, yes.
But there's still a mortgage.
But there's still a mortgage. When you pass, hopefully you would have had life insurance attached to the mortgage. So the life insurance would have canceled the mortgage. Hopefully you have also made a will that leaves this house to somebody specific. So them can get it, live in it, sell it, do whatever want. However, if it has a mortgage and you did not attach a life insurance to it, when you pass, the mortgage is still owed to the bank. So the bank still owns the property, part of it. So your beneficiary, your children or whomever would have to pay off that loan, still pay off that loan. They would still be responsible. However, if they can't pay the loan and the bank is forced to sell the property under private treaty or under auction, then yes, they will get the difference of after the bank take back the loan, pay the fees and all of that. But if you make the bank foreclose on the property, they don't get anything. Like what happened in a case recently. Bank foreclosed, so you don't get anything.
To lose a property with zero upside afterwards.
With zero upside, what that mean?
Not even the return of your deposit.
Not even that, eh? It was like you're paying rent. So which is why you have to plan. All right. All right, Tree Blade Ceiling Fan says bye. Yes, I'm going to jump off now. So everybody, thank you so much for staying with us. I'm going to jump off this chat now because I have another meeting at 5 o'clock. But thanks to those who jump into the book club. Remember, if you're in the book club originally, you didn't get into a breakout group, send me a WhatsApp message. Or when I send out the email me back and let me know you're not in the breakout group and I'll get you into one. All right?
All right.
Have a beautiful Sunday, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us again on live.
Have a safe and productive week.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
I would say have a richest man in Babylon week.
that tip.
All right.